So I'm Janet Rossant, and I'm a scientist at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, and I'm also president of the Gairdner Foundation. Role models at all levels are incredibly important. So when I look at my whole career, I've certainly had female role models, particularly as we move into the sort of stem cell human embryo research. And you know that I'm going to say Anne McLaren. Anne McLaren is a British developmental biologist who really was an incredible role model for me and many, many people going through research in developmental biology and in stem cell biology. And again, it was because she was a role model in the terms of her excellence in science, but also because she took time to look out and care for other people and try to encourage other people's careers. And that's incredibly important. Now, it doesn't always have to be women, because I've also had mentors throughout my career who've been male, but I would call them gender-blind males. You know, they're looking to encourage young people when they see that there's a spark of something there. And those people are incredibly important too. And when I look back at the beginnings of my career, it was that combination of women role models showing that, you know, you could do this, it was natural. And again, particularly some very strong male mentors who really helped me move forward. And so as I've gone through my career, obviously I've tried to sort of model back what they did for me and try to make sure that, again, as a woman, I stand as a role model, but more than that, that I actually reach out to help young people, male and female. I think as a field, I don't believe it's a major issue. On an individual basis, are there going to be instances where women feel that they have not had the opportunities? Yes. Does it vary from country to country? Yes. You know, so I've come from largely in North America and in Canada, where I think that we have a pretty relatively open environment for men and women working in this field. Not necessarily the case in other countries, where it's still much harder for women to make it through to independent careers and certainly into leadership positions. I think we still lack leaders, women leaders at every level. You know that this society has had many women presidents, and we've made a real effort to ensure that that happens. And again, it gives you, by doing that, it sets the role model. It says, you know, we don't think about it. We need women and we need men. And in fact, when we start to see a succession of presidents who are male, the society goes, what's going on? Because I think there is a general acceptance in the field that we need to have really an open environment for all members of the society. You're working in an institution, you have to interact with the leadership of the institution, be it the university, the hospital, and it's in those interactions that I've felt that, you know, the men don't really respect the comments of the women. And again, women who have strong voices are generally considered to be difficult. Men who have strong voices are strong and leaders. So I've certainly run into that, but not so much within our research interactions, but within the sort of institutional interactions. So I was head of research at the Hospital for Sick Children for 10 years. The research institute there was going for 50 years before I came. I was the first female head. But I was very lucky stepping into that role too, because when I took that role, the CEO of the hospital was also, for the first time, female. The CFO was female. The executive was more women than men. And it was a fantastic time, because that sort of difference, you know, that putting the women down just didn't happen in that environment. But I left another hospital where I really felt that my leadership capacity was going to be stopped because I was a woman. So yes, it does happen. You have to work out for yourself how to balance it. But it is true that women, when they're facing the transition from postdoc to PI, that's when we're losing women out of the system in any area, including stem cell biology, because they feel that this is going to be a very challenging time to be able to balance research and family life. And so the two things, they're not prepared to stand up and really say, yes, I can do this. And secondly, they feel the pressure of childbearing coming on. So I would say to those women at that stage, you know, if you're in scientific research or any profession, you have this same issue. Balancing career and family life is never going to be easy, but it can be done, and it can be very, very fruitful for both sides. The children are usually more independent. They usually end up proud of their parents. I think my son is proud of me, even though I wasn't always there for his school performances. He says it's okay. He's forgiven me. So, you know, I think that you just have to work through these things. But worries me that we are still seeing, as I say, at the undergraduate level, more than 50% women. Graduate student, 50-50. Postdocs are beginning to come out of the system. And when you have a job ad, still you find that the percentage of women putting their names forward for a job is less than they are men. So we are not making it attractive to them. We're not giving them enough incentive to say it's okay, this is going to work. So I think institutions need to support women. We need to be sure that we have, you know, daycare and other supports, and we need to have mentorship systems that can help them deal with this sort of balance between family life and work life. Things that I like about ISSTR are that we do try to reach out and bring in young people and encourage them to take up careers, that we have excellence as our number one standard. Everything we do is about research excellence, and in a field where that's not always the case, we set the standards, and I really believe that that's what we have to do and we have to continue to do. And then sort of stemming on from that, of course, the role that we've had and continue to have in public policy is I think very, very important. I like the international aspect. You know, I am from the UK originally. I think research is an international undertaking. Stem cell research requires collaboration across boundaries. Science is global, and very few societies have that kind of that global view. And I think ISSTR has that vision and probably needs to do more, but continue to push that international vision. So it's been great as a sort of a family of researchers, but also an organization that can make a difference.